Did you see Joe last night, folks? Did they call him Sleepy Joe? I call him Smoking. I know that's Fraser, but yeah, Sleepy Joe Biden. Did you see him? His exit speech. Gave a speech yesterday to that there US of A upon leaving the White House. I think he goes in 3 or 4 days' time and the Don takes over. Last night it was speech time. I think it was 8 o'clock their time. It was about 1 p.m. our time. I was ready to go to bed about 1:05. I don't know I'm telling you all this, but I am. And anyway, I'm flicking over the TV channels. He's on there giving a speech. Went on till about 22, 23 minutes past. I thought, no, I'm going to listen to it all. Why, I don't know, but I thought I'm going to. I thought, well, I probably do know. I probably thought, let's see how many times he's going to trip up. I knew it was going to be a longish speech. I thought, if it's much longer, I'm going to bed. Luckily, it ended after 23, 24 minutes. But I listened to it, and it wasn't a bad speech. It wasn't bad at all. I believe it's divided the US of A. Some liked it, some didn't. He's calling he's mentioning AI and the effect that it can have on the world, but he's also mentioning the US of A. How do I say it correctly? Is it oligarch? I think it is. I mean, the Abramovich over here was one, wasn't he? The Russian. There's many Russian oligarchs. I think when Joe was talking of a big American oligarch, he's on about the Don's mate, or his mate currently in Musk. I think he's on about old Elon there. And he's saying there's an oligarch or oligarchs in America now with too much influence. He said, and it worries me that going forward they're going to have even more. And it's not right for the common man. And I got where he was coming from, I did. But that's not really what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about really is just not so much the tone of the speech, but the way he delivered it. I mean, it was all sincere and from the heart and whatever else. And as I said, I thought there was a lot of good in there for all I'm not American myself. And I think although he made some mistakes with his son, I think to a great extent he's tried to do his best for the American public and maybe for the world in general. But actually delivering it, his speech, the quality of his speech and whatever else, I mean, it was poor yet again. And you can see why people have wanted him out. You can probably see why the Americans didn't want him in any longer. And probably he went on too long to the detriment of his own party. I mean, Trump battered Kamala in the end, but maybe had she had another 4 to 6 months to prepare, if Biden had said, okay, earlier, I'm going to go of my own accord without being pushed by my party, she might have had a better chance. He sounded bad. You know, he looked a bit shaky. He got lots of words wrong and corrected himself. There were certain words he was saying that he'd rushed the end of one word, and I thought, what did he mean? What did he? And then I'd get it in the context it was mentioned and I knew what he was on about. But I'm like hanging on every word because some of the words weren't that decipherable. But as I say, more than that, he got some words wrong and then quickly corrected himself, you know, as though he'd not got... And I thought... And it got worse as the speech went on. And I thought, well, he's probably reading off an autocue here. But the longer he does it, because of his age and whatever else, and the more concentration needed, the worse he's going to get. And that's how I felt it was. You know, if I'm American listening to my outgoing president, I'm probably thinking whether I support the party or not, it probably is about time he goes, and probably he should have gone earlier. You know, you can't imagine that fella having the wherewithal to run a country and navigate it through all the concerns that the world is currently throwing up. You know, what with your Russia and your China and whatever else. I just don't think he's the man, or was the man for the job going forward. I think he's now been found out. Not that he's a bad man, but I think his age it's just really got to him. And I think up there, he's not the full ticket anymore. I really do. And that's not me knocking him. And I think the speech just told you all you needed to know. So for me, well, it wasn't the words that he said within the speech, the sentiment. There was no problem with the bulk of that for me. But if I'm American, I'm concerned, as I say, how he delivered it. You know, it wasn't very polished. It wasn't very... He just wasn't on the ball. He wasn't on the ball at all. That's what I thought. I don't know what everybody else thought. But as I say, I think he really showed that it's time to vacate and let somebody else have a go. I think he's gone as far as he can. I think age has beaten him in the end. I really do. Anyway, just thought I'd tell you.